Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
I'll have what she's had.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying. Mrs. Robinson.
Hello and welcome to the show. A very good afternoon. Today I want to discuss the topic of coping with loss and healing with hope. And I'll be talking to someone very dear and very close to me who will share her pregnancy story, her pregnancy journey, and how she focused on her 3% success probability in conceiving naturally. So the person that I'm talking about is actually my sister. I'm still waiting for her to come on board. Onto our Zoom platform.
Michelle, ma.
Understandably so, because both of us are, dealing with very young children at home, giving birth. She has just come out from her confinement. And let's take a look at this video whilst I'm trying to get out from this thingy in just a bit. Let me just come out from here. Oh my god, it's so tiny. I am so sorry. I'm just waiting for other people to join us.
Find the other one.
Yeah, I know. It's so small. Oh my god, I can't even see right now.
Where's the cursor?
Okay, right. So, my god, maybe it's quite ambitious of me to be doing this back to back. But yes, again, for those of you who are watching this over IG Live, and you're wondering why am I so big? Again, just a kind reminder that we are also streaming over YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter, okay? So I'm just going to open up my restream, which I forgot to do. I need to make sure that I have my little, SOPs when I'm going live, especially when you've got a newborn right next to you and he wants to be breastfed. Anywho, let's take a look at this before we invite our guests in. Here we go.
During the first day of Raya, we shared the news of Elon's birth and why we kept the pregnancy quiet. Now, as many of you know, there were some concerns on proceeding with the pregnancy as it was to be my 4th cesarean and my uterus lining was extremely delicate. But we went ahead and Alhamdulillah, Elon was delivered safely a month earlier than his due date and both of us are recovering well into our 17th day of confinement.
I didn't know if I was... I had the energy to do this, but when I commit to something, I commit all the way. And that is the reason why when I said I'm not going to terminate this pregnancy because I want to keep the child, so many people are trying so hard to have or to be pregnant, like my sister's one of them. And that's why there's the significance of my IG posts, my feed of late. There's a story behind it. So I'm one determined chick, and you can tell how determined I am because I have now with me Elon, Daniel, King Azmi. It was a very difficult journey.
I used to do this shit when I used to go out drinking and clubbing 3 o'clock in the morning. It is probably not even 11 p.m. I am not drunk. In fact, I'm very sober. If people who are pregnant have morning sickness, I am having night sickness every single day. I'm actually done with the first trimester. They say that it only happens during the first trimester. I don't know. It's going to be one of those pregnancies where I'm going to feel sick all the friggin' time.
Like I said, I thought first trimester it's going to be easy. After the first trimester it's going to be easier, but it's not. I'm friggin' sick all the time.
What just happened, Iman?
You vomit.
Why am I vomiting?
Because he has morning sickness.
She knows her pregnancy shit.
Everything that's possibly possible during someone's pregnancy is happening to me. Now I've got bleeding gums. I never had this before. Ever since the news broke, I've been receiving a fair bit of DMs or direct messages thanking me for sharing my story and for keeping the baby. Many mothers out there shared their pregnancy struggles and hardships going through miscarriages and negative test kits, emotionally disappointed, angry and dejected as they get their period each month, hoping instead that they'll be pregnant after months and some years of trying to conceive. I've tried to reply to all their direct messages. But I broke down last week when, of all those many DMs that I've received, one lady shared a picture of her angel who passed away a day before she delivered him about a month ago. And you know how newborns look almost alike with their squishy faces and body? Well, her baby photo looked exactly like Elon's newborn face, and that just choked me up, and I did an impromptu IG live which garnered more direct messages, questions, and wonderful sharing about this topic. Seeing how taboo this topic was, I invited someone very close to me today to share her pregnancy journey and more.
All right, so we're still waiting for Michelle to basically come in and join us. Apparently, she just texted me and she told me that her Zoom decides to update itself and she was feeding the bub. So it's understandably so. But I just want to let you know the reason why, again, for those of you who just joined us, the reason why I called my sister up and asked her to come on the show was because when I shared my story, my pregnancy story, and a lot of people sent really lovely messages, and I felt a little bit guilty at certain points, especially when they sent me beautiful pictures of their angels who are now with the Lord. And some of them asked me, what do you do to keep active? What do you do to be healthy? How is it that you're so fertile? And I couldn't really answer those questions because, truth be told, actually all my pregnancies were unplanned. I mean, I love all my kids, but it wasn't as if, all right, babe, today, this is the day, this is the year, we're gonna have a baby. No, it wasn't nothing like that. I find out I'm pregnant time after time, but of course the fourth pregnancy was a complete surprise. And again, as I mentioned, it was a concern to the both of us, Azmi and I, because of the fact that it was a high-risk pregnancy and he didn't want to lose me. I didn't want to lose myself, but at the same time, I didn't want to go and terminate the pregnancy. And I'm so glad I did that. And that's when I did that sharing over Raya. And I also shared about my sister's 3% success probability in basically trying to get pregnant. And a lot of people were asking me, we don't have access to that Facebook page of hers because it's private. And I said, well, you know what, why don't I just call Michelle over? And I spoke to her and I said, would you be game to, speak to the audience? Because I've got a lot of people asking me about your pregnancy journey and how did you apply law of attraction to conceive naturally, because the doctor told her that she only had 3% of conceiving naturally, so she and her husband were saving up for what may be her last IVF program because of her age and resources, but she wanted to optimize her pregnancy for that given time. I think she gave herself 3 months. Again, we're going to ask her when she comes in. Okay, she's in. And we'll find out a little bit more about her story. Michelle Ann Eiking, are you there? It's so funny because I've not really seen her. We only chat every day over WhatsApp, and we haven't actually been able to really see each other and to introduce our sons to each other properly. So I'm really excited to be seeing her again over Zoom, despite the fact that it's over Zoom. I actually interviewed her with regards to her company, Self-Driven. Did she disappear? And so she she was pregnant then, and I said, hopefully the MCO or the CMCO will be lifted and we can just see each other and we can get a pregnancy shot together. Because 4 years ago we were also pregnant at the same time, and this time around we got pregnant again 2019. We found out both of us were pregnant, and this time it was just about a month or two of difference. So every time she gets pregnant, my husband goes like, oh my god, please don't tell me you're gonna get pregnant too, and I do. So law of attraction, guys. Law of attraction. She was in earlier on, but I think something happened. But as I was mentioning earlier on, so she shares her pregnancy journey and how she focused on that 3% success probability. And there you go. She has now delivered Kian, Arya, Supaya, Aryan. Is it Aryan? Aryan, right? I'm still the Arya. Yes, that's right.
Aryan race,
Okay, that's how we remember it. Even the spelling took a while for the family to grasp her spelling. It's just like how Lara Anushka, which is her first child, how we were struggling to how to spell Anushka with the H or the K before, after. So now it's Kian. So I remember his name by the car Kia and then N. All right. So if you have any questions,
Kia.
yeah lah, they've got the car Kia. Right. Anyway, if you have Kian, yeah. It's
Kian, not Kian.
It's Kian, but how to spell it? So it's Kiaen. Again, we're still waiting for my sister to come in. Apparently, she just texted me and she said, "Oh, my Zoom needed to be updated. I'm sorry, I should have done the technical parts earlier, but I had to feed the baby." Oh, I'm in the waiting room. Sorry, now connecting on computer. She's about 80% updated on photo. So, whilst we wait for Michelle and Iking, by the way, some people are asking me, Oi Ben Chiang, so your sister has 2 kids same age as yours now? Yep, exactly, Oi. So, Isidore and Lara, which is her firstborn, are both 4 years old. Lara was born in January, Isidore was born in March, and then fast forward 4 years later, she found out she conceived naturally. She was pregnant, and then, oh, there she is. And then after that, I found out I was pregnant, and the 2 boys are just about 3 weeks apart. So that was quite exciting, but at the same time quite stressful for both of us because of the MCO. My mom, who is a bidan, and our confinement lady, who was supposed to be our confinement lady, was supposed to come in and help us both. She unfortunately couldn't fly in. Hello, Michelle and Iking. How are you? Why are we only seeing your forehead? Hello, Kian. Okay, you need to unmute your Zoom. And I was just sharing with the audience about how we came about, or how I invited you to the show, and that our sons are about 3 weeks apart, and you had problems coming in because your Zoom had to be updated. She just wants us to just show us what is the best angle for her
about that.
face.
It's all right.
But
Just
we're
you
seeing
tell me
more
how to
of
adjust
your.
the camera and stuff.
I think we need to see more of your face. So
Yeah.
now it's
Fun.
it's more.
Marina,
Yes.
okay, don't be a Marina.
Perfect. Hi, Kian. All right. So earlier on, I shared. Yeah, you look beautiful. Hi. Yeah, just now also I was like so huruhara. Hi, Lara. Yeah, Isidore's here too. And hey.
Okay, I'm gonna breastfeed him.
Yeah. Okay. Oh dear, my God.
Hey, Lara.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm pressing something which sounds quite obscene. Because he's got his DJ deck, and I just thought I'll just press play. I know I was feeding. See, I can't remember my son's name. Elan. Wait. I need to switch this off. I press play, thinking that's music, but it's playing some music. Because I always see you press play. Okay. Anyway, Michelle's gonna be
Why you
breastfeeding.
want to press play?
No, because of the music.
You want to switch it off, is it?
Yeah, because now it's saying saying some quite profanity, some stuff. Anyway, Ka, how are you feeling? How are you coping?
How are you? Okay, this is what it is. So that's why I was like, all right. I know. I'm sorry. I know you asked for this, and it was planned with the best of intentions in kind of life, right? The baby's breastfeeding now. Lara is sitting beside me having some grapes. She wanted to be part of this. I said she has to be very, very quiet. if she
That's
wants
fine.
to. But it is about her, so I thought the people might want to see her, but she has to be quiet, right? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed myself, but that's just how it is, and that's how reality is. We're both with newborns. We both are just coping with life and with our mom. Although we're trying to persuade my mom to come now that the Prime Minister has announced that interstate travel is allowed. So now to convince mom to
Yeah,
come over and see your grandkids,
over and have grandchildren, right? Her new grandkids.
Yeah, man. Okay, first and foremost, I think what I've been receiving here is a lot of direct messages, and they've been asking me how, because they don't have access to your Facebook, which I shared your story very briefly over my live Raya when I made Elon's deep debut on Facebook, right, and YouTube. And they said, can you share more about Michelle's story? And I didn't think it was right for me to just copy paste your Facebook, because that's your personal page, and I invited you instead to share your journey. And so tell us. One person just asked first, why is the name Kian? What does it mean? Someone's asking him, what does Kian mean?
So Kian, the original spelling was supposed to be Kiaan,
There you go.
and that is a Sanskrit word. My husband is Malaysian Indian, for those who don't know, and so we wanted to choose a sort of Indian name, and he had come up with a list of 5 names that I picked 2, and became his name, Kian Aryan. So Kian I picked because it seemed kind of unique, but it's Sanskrit for grace of God, and really that's why we picked this name, because he is very much a blessing. Similar to how I picked Lara. Lara is my firstborn. Lara Anushka. Anushka also is, I think, Sanskrit for fulfillment of desire.
Oh, wow.
So very much that whole thing, we really, really wanted both of them. It was a challenge to get both of them. And they were miracles from God. Like, without any triteness, I literally can say they were miracles.
And I've been sharing this story, 3% success probability. In fact, the first time I actually heard this story was when we celebrated Lara's 4th birthday in Sabah with the family. And that was when I found out that you applied law of attraction. There was the doctors, all 3 doctors were saying, was it 3 doctors? All saying, no, Michelle, why don't you just go for IVF? That's the best chance for you to get pregnant. There's only 3% chance of that. Tell us your story with regards to your 3% success probability in conceiving naturally.
Okay, well, in short, firstly, when we got married, Kishore and I got married, we did the normal things. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby carriage, right? So we got married, we were setting up a house. And incidentally, Kishore's sister used to work with a bunch of clinics, and they were opening up a fertility clinic. And pre-opening, they were doing this promo on fertility testing, just to check whether all the plumbing is in order. And we thought, oh yeah, it's free, and we're going to start a family soon, so let's go check our bits and bobs that we're all fine. And we went in for that, and the doctor was very very encouraging, very professional, saying, yes, you are, because you're older than 35. At that point, I was 37. This was in 2014. I was about 37 years old. So obviously a little bit older than 35, which is kind of the danger zone, obviously, right, for pregnancy. And at that stage, what I was told is it's between a 15 to 20% chance of natural conception for women my age. And I thought, that doesn't sound very good. But that doctor said, it doesn't sound very good, but it's actually pretty good odds. But it's great that you've come in here and started, looking at things, because, your time is not on your side, so you might look at the different options. And he had outlined sort of 4 different stages of fertility treatment if you needed help with nature. And the first stage was, with pills, Clomid, that you would take, and these kind of encourage egg production, etc. And then you have different stages, all the way up to IVF, which is the most invasive. The least invasive, you makan ubat. The most invasive, take out your eggs, do all the IVF outside, put it back in, right? He was, it's very set up. We'll take it slow and steady, etc. Let's just do some tests. You give us some samples, we'll see how we take it from there. So we left that appointment pretty feeling very good. Like, for me, I felt like, this is me being proactive. Much I'm going to the dentist every 6 months. Much I'm filing your taxes on time. Very responsible, And then when we came back, I was really in for a rude shock, because the doctor said, okay, based on the results, based on your egg quality and quantity, no choice. You guys have to go straight to level 4, go straight to IVF.
Schmuck.
And that was a very rude shock for us because, in the beginning was like, okay, don't worry, still got chance, don't worry. And then tiba, oh no choice, have to. And of course, at that time we were just married, a lot of wedding debt, fancy honeymoon, all just bought the new house or looking for a house or have to renovate. We have absolutely no money for IVF, right? And so it was really a process of let's get a second opinion. I had a girlfriend saying to me, babe, come on lah, you pergi car showroom, of course they will jual you a kereta kan. You pergi fertility center, takkan lah they would want to sell you something. So of course, you better go get a second opinion from someone who's not has a vested interest in selling your fertility treatment. I said, betul juga, right? So I went to my normal guy. This guy, Dr. Kamaljit.
Okay.
I normally go to her for pap smear. She did a, thorough check. She said, I don't see, yes, a little bit, obviously your age, but I don't see any reason why I cannot.
Yeah.
But try for the next 6 months naturally. And if nothing, then, revisit your option. And then we also went to Chitra, my sister-in-law's gynae.
Yeah.
He deals with very complex cases. And he's known to have the tut. Konon the tut. So,
Right.
Chitra said, just go and see and, consult, see what the issue
This
is.
is Dr. Raman.
So, Dr. Raman. So Dr.
Okay.
Raman had basically said, look, I don't do fertility treatments per se. I don't do IVF. But what I can recommend is, why don't you do this advanced blood test? I don't know what the name of the test is. I can probably find out. We'll send this blood sample to Australia, and we'll see from there lah. Okay?
Wow.
So give another blood test. Sent all the way to Australia. It came back, and there I was hoping that this was my second opinion. The doctor's gonna say, no need like IVF, you got a chance, right? So he came. The test results came back, and it said, okay, there's this graph, and I'm in the green zone, like konon for my age and what my quality and quantity of eggs is in the green zone. Borderline ada nak masuk amber, nak masuk merah, tapi still in the green zone. So I was like, okay, great. It means I'm good lah. If green means good lah, right?
Yeah.
But what he said was, okay, carry on and do IVF. Then I said, but I'm green. What? If I'm green, that doesn't mean that I can do natural. Why still go IVF? Why you still recommend IVF? And then he said, IVF pun, it's like it's like a recipe. You still need good ingredients. You still need to have eggs of a decent viability. And that's what this test is supposed to check. Whether or not, if you go and offer IVF, you got anything to harvest or not first.
Right.
And so this tells me that there's something to harvest. But then go try. And I said, okay, well, with this advanced result, what is my natural conception result? Chances. And he's the one who told me 2 to 3%. 2 to 3% natural conception. So I dah optimistic. I am the high range of 2 to 3. I take 3%. Okay, that's the kind of person I am. I'm not even gonna look at the 2%. I'm gonna okay, I have a 3% chance of natural conception. Obviously, it was quite disheartening. But basically, since then we said, okay, there's no money for IVF right now. Let's keep trying naturally. Did a lot of things.
How much would it cost you if you went via IVF?
I think they what we were told before is it starts with a very basic level, 17,000 ringgit. But that's the Sudan, and it can go all the way up to hundreds of thousands of ringgit, depending on which doctor you go to, how intensive the genetic testing you go, and nothing's guaranteed, right? Like I've heard of couples that go through multiple rounds. So I'll be honest, we didn't even have a spare 20,000. We thought everything's gone into the house to have a roof over our head.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we have a roof over our head, even if the baby comes. Ada rumah lah at least kan.
Betul.
Takkan have baby and then don't know what they're going to stay with you. I was staying with you, remember at that time?
So you just
yeah.
kept on naturally. No wonder Kishore looked so tired at the time.
Hey, no joke. You I know you meant it as a joke, but it is no joke, right? And people, I know if your listeners are there, those who are still trying, the monthly punya ni memang become unsexy, right?
Oh yes.
It's like, okay, babe, this week is it.
Oh my god.
So, this is the week. And, guys,
God damn it.
Guys will be like, bosan lah kena ikut schedule.
I
It's not for
understand.
fun anymore, right?
I mean, I put
And
on
then,
some porn. I mean, it'll be good.
No, so and then that week cannot gaduh, no. Kan? That week tak boleh gaduh.
You just have to keep your
Kena
cool.
jaga mood.
Selena She
Yeah.
says government is cheaper by 50% for IVF. So there is that option, but you have to queue, and the waiting list is crazy long.
So long, I'm sure, right?
Right, yeah. Anyway,
it's
sorry.
Not just the money. It's not just the money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there is physical, the mental, the emotional toll. Because obviously they're injecting drugs into you. You know, it's very invasive to take things out. The emotional toll of expecting and hoping, and then jadi ke tak jadi, the stress of that. It's not
Oh
just the
yeah, I'm
financial,
sure.
right? So anyway, we said we would keep trying. And then at one point, we decided, you know what, it's taking too much. This is about almost a year. It's taking too much of a toll on our relationship to just aim for that. And back to basics, if we want to start a family, our relationship as husband and wife must be solid first, right? So we said, look, why don't we just cut ourselves some slack? Let's focus on us as a couple. Let's focus on our health. Let's give ourselves another goal apart from baby making. So we set ourselves a goal in early 2015 to climb Mount Kinabalu together.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my god.
Okay.
People never climbed. I climbed as a teenager. So our goal was May 2015. We were going to climb Kinabalu together.
Okay.
In the months leading up to that, every weekend pergi hiking with friends. Konon training lah tu.
Right.
Right? And May 1st, I think, was the intention to climb. And then literally on Daddy's birthday, I was looking through back all my, notes and stuff about when stuff happened. Daddy's birthday, March 2nd, 2015, I got a positive home pregnancy test. From natural, right? Like doing every month or whatever. So there was a positive little those lines. And I remember telling you and Mom about it, like, keep cool, don't even tell Azmi, but this is what it is. And I'm so, I'm so happy, but let's keep it quiet. And as many would know, once you get a positive home pregnancy test, you can't go and check at the clinic until about how many, 2 to 3 weeks later. Normally, I think 4 weeks when you test on positive, and then 6 to 7 weeks when you go to confirm it. Don't get confirmation. And when I told Kishore, he was like, I don't believe in all these things, So I want to hear it from a professional. Baru I percaya. Baru I will. He kept very cool. I was very happy. I kept testing like Yasu mad every day, buying pregnancy tests every day. I kept testing. I just wanted to see that those blue lines over and over again. And then on day 4, I started eating. While I was going at work, I went to the restroom and I saw coughing.
Yeah.
And it just, you just kind of like, what is happening? Called the clinic just said, just monitor overnight, you come in tomorrow morning. I immediately went and got a pregnancy test again, and then at that point it was next right? And then I started my period lah. So the next morning when I went to the clinic, I was obviously quite upset. I didn't think I was pregnant anymore 4 days later from the first positive test. I just wanted to know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found out was that I had experienced a form of miscarriage called a chemical pregnancy, where
Chemical?
in many cases,
miscarriage?
a chemical pregnancy.
Okay.
A chemical miscarriage, chemical pregnancy. And what happens in that, and this it's really interesting. What I found out was that 70% of conceptions end up in miscarriage of some kind. Okay. 50 to 75% of those miscarriages. I mean, this is all Google talk, so don't quote me. 50 to 75% of those miscarriages are actually chemical miscarriages or pregnancies, in which there's a fertilization that happens, but it doesn't implant for whatever reason.
Right.
It doesn't implant because maybe there's like in my case, my uterine lining was too nipis, too thin, so the egg and the one fertilizer I had nowhere to plant into, right? But it's called chemical pregnancy because at the point of fertilization, your body does release some hormones, and that's what gets picked up by the pregnancy test. So it picks up that fertilization has happened, especially some of the more really sensitive, advanced, home pregnancy kits right now. But then it does an implant, and then you lose it last, right, or soon after that. So the doctor, Dr. Raman, had basically explained it to me. It's like planting. He said, when he scanned me, he confirmed that I was not pregnant. He said whatever was there is no longer there. From what I observed, your uterine lining is very thin, and so that's probably why the implantation could not happen. There was nothing for the fertilized egg to dig into. But even in this, there was a silver lining because he kind of looked at me with new eyes. Before, when he told me that I had a 2 to 3% chance, I could see, I mean, maybe this is just me, terasa, feeling really disappointed. Lara, please. Say hello and then sit down quietly because people are getting distracted, darling. Hello? This is Lara. So I'm talking about Lara now, conceiving Lara, yeah? Now 4 years old. So the doctor, in my view, when he first told me I had 2 to 3% chance, I thought he wrote me off. This is not my client, bakal client. He's never going to come and see me for any treatment. It's also fine, send her away because, someone else is going to look after her. But when I came to him that time with the chemical pregnancy, he kind of looked at me and goes, well, the fact that this has happened, that you conceived, even though it didn't progress, this is a very good sign. It's a good sign. So if you are open to it, I can recommend that I help you inject a few sorts of FSH, which is a follicle stimulation hormone.
This is for Lara.
This is for Lara.
Okay.
Right? Lara, this is for Lara. So FSH, so some hormones to inject to kind of like encourage egg production. And then he said if you have more than one egg of a decent size, then I would recommend that I can do IUI for you. So IUI is the intermediate step before IUI.
That's the turkey. The one that.
The one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
turkey-based one. And essentially, the process of that is like, okay, again, I learned so much in this whole process, right? Apparently, every man, regardless, the healthiest man with no problems of conceiving, 90% of their swimmers are like duds. Okay? Semua tak boleh pakai, the 90%.
Alahai. Okay.
Even the healthiest.
Hey, don't blame me, man. I got 6 kids.
I'm saying but then I'm saying of those 6 kids as me, they came from the 10% Olympic swimmers that you had, okay? So every man 90%, okay?
Yes.
So I involved this term called washing. So the man's sample will be washed to extract the 10% Olympic swimmers, and that 10% is the one that will be turkey-based, inserted into the woman's snake at the point when the doctor is confident that she has eggs of the right size.
Your eggs, right? Duh. Your eggs. Okay.
So I had to get injections. I took about 8 injections every day for like a couple of weeks, and then he monitored. Okay, dah besar dah, cukup. It was right size, triggered to release the egg. He sure had to come in and give his sample. It was washed, 10% Olympic swimmers ready. Go in for like a 10-15 minute procedure. It just masuk. It's like literally just like a pap smear. Something's inserted just to get a sample, but it was inserted in. I was told to lie back for about 10 minutes, and then I could go back home and say, okay, now you just pray. You pray, but there's a 20%. This procedure 20% success rate. Okay. And you wait, and then 2 weeks later, I was pregnant. So this one wasn't completely natural because there was some level of intervention. But
you're lucky because you became pregnant straight away because
from IUI.
From IUI, yeah.
Yeah, that was with Lara. And so when Lara was 1, we tried again IUI, try and get her sibling. It didn't work there. So then that second time we fell into the golongan 80%, the 80% who failed. Okay, so that was for Lara. And so we delivered Lara. Tried when she was 1, again IUI, it didn't work that time. So then we said again, let's keep trying natural. And I think that last year when I was now I'm 44, right? 44 now.
Yes, by the way, people, she's older. Everyone thinks you're younger than me. Anywho, go on. So you were 44 last year.
Oh, no, this year I'm 45. I just turned 44. Last year I was 43, and I was thinking, tunggu punya tunggu. Like, how much more time can we wait? If we really want to get a sibling for Lara, I
Yep.
think we're gonna bite the bullet and do IVF lah, right?
Okay.
So go and consult again, and then check. Mana tahu something has changed? No, still very low chance. Of
Why was there
let's
why was there that need to have another baby? Was it because kasihan si Lara, ataupun back to that perfect family of 4? You know what I mean?
I think it was more. I think definitely both of us. We come from a family of 4. Kishore comes family of 3. The consideration was more like, if we can give her a sibling of whatever gender, that would be great. And so there was no real preference for boy girl. Obviously, balance would be nice if I get a boy. So nice if you already got a girl going. But for me, it was really as long as healthy and
so it's more for just to have a sibling for Lara. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
But if okay, all right.
Yeah, that was it. And then so we had consulted an IVF clinic, and this time we were thinking, okay, we have one shot. We're gonna go into debt, maybe borrow money to go have one shot at IVF. Let's go for the best konon. So pergilah yang handle Datuk Haliza konon.
Food.
Let's go for her doctor. We couldn't actually get her doctor because he's so busy and so in demand. So they kind of fobbed us off to like a lesser doctor or whatever, like the associate doctor. And we were preparing, okay, this is the procedure, and I've been doing a lot of research, as you know, me being very anal, doing a lot of research. So given we were going to invest so much money, it's like running a marathon. Like, you cannot just get up and start running. You have to prime your body lah going on. I don't you pengsan halfway. So I thought, if we're gonna be going into debt to go into IVF, let's make sure that we are in the best condition of our life. So we can. The good thing is neither of us smoke. He's quite fit. I'm less so. I'm not at my ideal weight. But so we were trying. Okay, let's try and get to a decent weight. Make sure our makanan, our diet is good. And then I started researching fertility supplements. So that's when I came across a range of fertility supplements from this site called Fairhaven in the US.
Fairhaven, okay.
Fairhaven. And they had a range of supplements for both women and men. And they also had this fertility monitor. So I've been tracking my fertility via an app. So, konon so tequila, right? Just via an app, keying in dates. And because the app was so accurate in predicting my onset of menstruation, like literally when it told me today you will have your period, I would always get my period on the day.
Oh wow!
So
Okay.
I wouldn't took it for granted. This app is very accurate about my onset of menstruation. Surely it is also accurate about my ovulation cycle and my fertile window. So that's how I would kind of be sure, right, according to the app, this is the week lah. So, let's not fight. Let's all be lovey-dovey. And, this is the week. Every month, right? And when I purchased this fertility supplement from this site in the US, which they didn't even send to KL, I had to send it to Singapore. And a friend in Singapore redirected me in KL. I have found out that these now supplements are being sold by local distributors, but you have to research yourself whether they are, trustworthy vendors.
Okay.
But I ordered the supplement for Kishore myself for 3 months supply, and I also ordered the Fertility Monitor, which is a kind of, it's kind of high tech. It looks like a remote, and it has probe. One to take your saliva sample every morning, and one to insert in your hoo-ha to take your vaginal
That's your hoo-ha.
sample every morning.
Your hoo-ha, obviously,
every
right?
morning. To take vaginal samples. And with this data, it would measure, because there's certain hormones and chemicals in your saliva and in your vaginal secretions when you are nearing ovulation. So it's a very chemically accurate way of determining your fertile window. You have to do this at the same time every morning, and it would Nila, and you can predict. So with this fertility monitor and taking the supplements, I started noticing that the supplements really did have an effect. Like, this is a little bit too much information, maybe, but if you study the whole fertility thing, it's about having the right consistency of mucus
Your discharge, right?
to facilitate, sperm coming out. So you have to have like lots of it and the right consistency apa benda semua. So the supplements I felt really did alter my chemical makeup, and some of the supplements are supposed to like mengukuhkan, strengthen your egg. You can't change how many eggs you have, but it helps to, optimize everything. And then
Jojo's asking, what are
monitor,
those supplements?
Can
you remember?
I can probably give you a list.
Okay, and then you can just pass it to me.
I ordered. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So Jojo will.
I'm not a spokesperson for them, and I don't know what works. So I really caution everyone to do your own research and see if you're comfortable with it. If it's for you, you can read all the reviews of people as well, because they're not cheap. They're not cheap, and they were an investment for us. I don't know that everything works. I'm memang anal. I like order sekali everything, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, if with this together with the fertility monitor and 3 months of supply for Kishore, everything, and 3 months of supply of everything for me.
How much did you roughly spend? Yeah.
I don't know if I spent maybe 2,000 ringgit.
Okay, that's
Maybe
still
I spent
okay.
2,000 to 4,000 ringgit.
That's still okay.
So I was thinking,
comparing to IVF. Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I thought. Okay, if this 2,000 to 4,000 ringgit, I don't know what exactly. If this 2,000 can save us 70,000, why not? Right? Or at least it gives us the best chance, even if we still have to do IVF anyway. We will be rest assured that our bodies are like, optimized.
Yeah, because everyone's like sending me all these questions. What are the supplements? What are supplements? So again, those who've asked me, I will get my sister to list it down. And just as a disclaimer, it's not as if my sister,
I'm not,
she's not a spokesperson or whatever. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's suitable for your condition. But the site is Fairhaven, if in case you want to do your own research, because there's a lot of information there.
FAIRHAVEN. Okay.
Fairhaven.
And someone asked, like your fertility monitor. It's not like a guna the body basal temperature method, right? It's something completely.
Yeah, so it is.
Oh, okay.
No, basal temperature. I think no. There's the saliva. Hang on, let me show you the.
All right, so Michelle's gonna go and get that fertility monitor. Again, those who've asked what exactly are the supplements, she will list it down because she can't remember everything because she bought 3 months supply for herself, 3 months supply for her husband. Sorry, my voice is breaking a bit. She's actually gonna come up with the fertility monitor now. 2K, I agree, Fida. 2K is much cheaper compared to IVF. So this would be the fertility monitor that Michelle's going to be showing. Oh wow! Damn, that looks so chunky.
And then it has like these. I know this looks
Whoa,
like.
there's that. Whoa!
Oh, that's where you put it up your guha.
Whoa! No wonder lah.
What's that?
Kishore is so happy.
This one you put in your tongue.
Oh, that's
this
the
is to get
saliva.
Saliva.
Okay.
And then you connect it to, and it will read saliva reading. And this one, I mean, please don't judge me and think about me picking this up or anywhere, but this is what you had to.
Oh, that's all right.
Every morning to get the nutrition, right?
Right.
And then it would take readings, and then it would plot for you on this screen. It will appear.
That looks like a Nintendo.
Okay, what the.
Yeah, it does look like a
And it will
Nintendo.
tell you lah.
And that's why she spends. Yeah, that's why you spend about 2,000 to 4,000 ringgit. And people are saying, I'd rather spend that much. We're willing to spend that much as an investment compared to more invasive way of IVF. Well, why not try that way first? All right, so sorry. So those were the two things, right? Yeah.
And this one, what it pointed out to me was that I was actually ovulating at different times from the app. So this is the thing. So I also taken a lot of the ovulation predictor kits. You pee on those ovulation predictor kits, and I was always very confused. Why did the app say I was ovulating, but then when I peed on the ovulation kit, it didn't say I was? I was always like,
Yeah.
why? I'm supposed to, right? And so with this very accurate chemical one, it was telling me that actually the app was completely off, even though the app predicted my period very accurately. It wasn't predicting my ovulation correctly.
Okay.
And so I found out in one particular month, the second month, in fact, the second month of my 3-month lead up to the IVF, the second month, according to the monitor, I ovulated twice. So you know how, for those if you're trying, kind of, if this is the week, for this month, you go at it that week,
Yeah.
right? You're like, once you get past that week, then you wait, and then if that then that week is a loss, or that month is a loss, right? And the second month, because I was on this fertility monitor, I saw that there was a second window. It's like, okay, you're ovulating again.
Right.
And I was really like, oh no, what does this mean? And when I was reading online, one of the symptoms of menopause is that your ovulation cycles get a bit crazy, and sometimes you can ovulate twice. And I'm like, alamak.
Damn,
luck,
girl.
I'm premenopausal already. I'm premenopausal, this is it. But okay lah, whatever is selagi, got this window this month. Let's go.
Zas.
So, concentrate.
Woo! Kishore had the rodeo.
Yeah, so then Tian was conceived.
Oh, yo. That's
and,
good.
And that was like,
Bless you.
literally
Bless
fairly
Kishore.
natural. Thank you. Yeah, power to Kishore. But yeah, so it's basically with supplements and just timing your according to correct ovulation.
Why did you wait for why did you give yourself that window of 3 months to optimize your body? Why 3 months? Why not 4? Why not 1 month before you went with the IVF?
I guess the reading that I had read, even if you're healthy, you don't need any intervention like IVF. What they advise you is trying to start a family. Try to, in the 3 months before you start, that's when you give up smoking, pick up your diet. It takes about that time to recalibrate, kind of like, essentially recalibrate your body. So that's why I guess maybe 3 is a magic number for me.
You mentioned a lot. You also about applying the law of attraction to this and just harping on that 3% success rate. What is law of attraction in very briefly for those who may not understand it, and how did you set that mindset and not be negative? Because how do you reset it from boleh ka ni, boleh ba ni? How do you do that?
So essentially, the law of attraction, the principle is that you attract into your life that which you focus the most.
Right.
So, say for example, same concept. If I say to you, don't think of a blue elephant, don't think of a blue elephant, don't think of a blue elephant.
And you think of a blue elephant. Blue elephant.
Right? So even though you don't, you will think of that because you're focusing so much on blue elephant, right? So the law of attraction is about if you want something else, focus on that. So for me, I could have said, oh my God, 97% chance of failure. What is the point of even trying? Because, it's so likely to fail. 97% of people in my situation will never get a baby. I didn't want to do that. So I focused, 3%, if there's a 3% chance of conceiving naturally, somebody's got to be in the 3%. Why can't it be us? Why can't we be part of the 3%? And so you stay focused on that. And obviously, it is hard, but this is why I agreed to do this sharing. Or even though there's a lot of intimate details, sharing, but I stayed focused on hearing the success stories of women who were older and still got babies, women who've been trying for a long time and still manage. You keep your eyes focused on those successes because the law of attraction, I think the 3 basic principles are: firstly, you have to be very clear on what you want. Be very clear on what you want.
Can I just Michelle, you're the only one that I know that
Your first delivery was nearly a week in the hospital. 5 days lah.
Well, 5-7 days.
5.
So yes, that's a record for Pantai Hospital, and you're the only one that I've ever heard who sacked his own
She's got my mother's blood.
gynecologist.
Determined.
So,
You sacked him, man, Rahman.
So, no, I didn't sack him. Look, okay, even for that. So this is me, right? Going back a little bit of a digression, but when I got pregnant, I was with Lara. I was very lucky. Once I got pregnant, I had a fairly smooth pregnancy. You know,
Right.
Thank God I had a very smooth pregnancy. And then I obviously being Gasu, and I was okay. How do I make sure I have a smooth pregnancy and then prepare for an ideal smooth delivery? And then I'll be very honest, for vanity's sake, you know this one, I have keloid.
Yep.
So I was like, I
I've
want to
got it
avoid surgery because I want to avoid surgery because my keloid is very throat. So if I can avoid surgery, that would be great. Plus, like murah, right? It's cheaper to have natural
Oh,
birth
yes.
than cesarean. I was like, okay, ideally to keep the delivery smooth, no scarring, cheap. That's why I aim for natural delivery, and that's when I started researching hypnobirthing lah, you know, So I was very in my mind, kind of like, okay, let's aim for natural delivery. And Dr. Rahman, he is fabulous, right? He's fabulous. He's very experienced. Because he specializes in complex cases. He doesn't generally take on the simple cases. He sees a lot of these scenarios where complications happen, especially in older women, right? And so he is quite understandably predisposed to recommending the least risky. Like, okay, for your age, Dala, you are so old, this is a precious miracle baby, let's go for like, you know, let's go for surgery. Because then you can control everything. And it's the least risky for you, and you know, you want this baby, right? So
We all due
but I was
respect
like,
to Rahman, but for Popan, the fourth one, Ilan, we went to Rahman. He said he wanted to do like a down surgery like that.
Like not horizontal. What do you call
Horizontal,
that?
yeah, from top to bottom. I said, that's
Not
crazy.
horizontal, vertical.
Vertical cesarean. So we went back to Navdi. Navdi said, no need.
Yeah.
Crazy, man, this Rahman.
But but you're right about him. He always wants to go the less riskiest way.
yeah, the one that can like be, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, if there's no indications apart from my age, yes, I get it. You don't have to tell me more than once, so I'm told. About, you know, the condition of my body, is there anything that would indicate I can't deliver naturally? And so he kind of gave me this, you know, yeah, we'll see, like that. And I kind of got it like, I don't think so that he's actually gonna allow it. You know, I got this vibe that when I'm down at the crunch, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
And so I was 38 weeks pregnant. I researched, okay, which are the doctors which will really help, you know, be more open to me trying. And Dr. Paul, who obviously delivered Lara, and was someone who was recommended, is very open to, you know, allowing different things. And I ended up going to him. It turns out though that he and Dr. Rahman, Dr. Rahman was the Sifu.
Same with our doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Rahman is everybody's Sifu. Kamajit Sifu, Navdi, Paul.
He's like the man.
He's like the man.
Yeah.
I was lucky, and I was so blessed actually, because although at the end of the day, you know, Dr. Rahman said induce, that's why it took 5 days, because, you know, Dr. Paul was very amenable to like, okay, induce, but if you want to continue trying to avoid surgery, wait lah. That's why it became 5 days lah. But Dr. Rahman also monitored me together with Dr. Paul together, which I thought was very nice.
Yeah.
I didn't push at him, okay. I just picked doctors.
And that's your own prerogative. That's your birth plan, so stick to it. Whatever you're comfortable, whatever mommy's comfortable with.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing about you, Michelle. I mean, whether, you know, that's a bit, you know. But that's the thing about you. This law of attraction memang is your umbrella lah. When you, I notice about you, when you set out wanting to do something, you will never let anything get in the way. That's where I was getting at with that story. 5 days in the hospital, you can kick out your ONG.
Not kick out.
Well, kick out-ish.
Yeah, no, but I get the point. You get it, and I think it's very true. So that's, I think, if people were like listening and they said, okay, all this mumbo jumbo BS that you're talking about, what does it actually mean? What do I have to do? I think you have to get clear about what you want,
Yeah.
And then you have to focus on it. And when I say focus, it's really keeping it top of mind. So I remember I would do exercises where, think about your ideal life. And I would draw, Kishore is a 6-figure, Kishore, me, Lara, and then I draw one more. Okay, there has to be another baby. And then I drew, yes, money so that we can survive. I drew a globe because we like travel. I drew a photo album because we want to create beautiful memories. And I drew a clock because I said I want to find a career that will help me give my own time of some kind, and something to do with a legacy and helping people, stuff like that. So you visualize it, you listen, you keep in mind stories that are the success stories. You are very careful to only allow things into your funnel that things that support what you want.
And this is not just for babies. This is also on career, on abundance of whatever you want in your life. I've got another question from Jojo. Did you have any endometriosis or any cysts? Did you have any problems besides?
I did endometriosis, no, but I
Okay.
did have, well before I was married actually, I did have to have surgery for a cyst that grew a little bit bigger than it should be.
Okay.
So yes, I had a keyhole surgery for a cyst. And again, I mean, I guess, all these questions, what I want to caution people is everybody is different.
Okay.
Everybody is different. Please don't take, I'm sharing my story because I want you to have, I'll be one of the stories, hopefully, that gives you hope and faith. Something still can happen. But my story doesn't necessarily translate into everybody's. I don't want it to be like, if you said do this, then do this, right? I just want to
It's full disclaimer lah. I mean, today is just talking about relating stories, right? Rather than saying
It's
that
more
it's
of a sharing of the
Yeah.
pregnancy journey. But yeah, I know how it feels for some people who've tried so many times. I've got some who have miscarried for 6-8 times before finally getting pregnant. Or some of them who believe that when you adopt, then you'll get your baby, and it's true, or it is not true. So every journey is different for every person or every individual. I remember you also sharing during Lara's birthday on how you focus your 3% law of attraction on the success probability, and you got pregnant, you conceived naturally, but deep down in your heart, it would be nice if I had a son. Then matching I mean, like, it's nice, I got one girl, one boy, although the priority was for a healthy baby child, baby lah, that's it. And you found out because you ran some tests that you were carrying a boy. How did that feel?
That was amazing. I mean, so here's the thing, like, you will hear a lot about diets that predict this, help you predict the sex of a baby, like more garam or whatever gives whatever. So I had done some of that research. And I thought about applying some of the diet tips to get a specific gender. But then again, according to law of attraction, what stopped me was that, okay, think about what you want. Are you telling me, are you telling yourself that if a healthy baby girl was intended for you, that you had a healthy baby girl on the way, are you saying you would not accept a healthy baby girl? That is why you bought this diet for a healthy baby boy? And I was like, no, that's not what I want. If God intends for Lara to have a healthy baby sister, I would welcome that with open arms. So forget about all this diet that konon zoom into
The gender.
A boy, gender, because that you'll be very clear. What is it you want? You want a healthy sibling. If it's a boy, great. But the intention is what? And then even the whole thing you brought up about adoption, right? I think it's also important because we certainly went through that consideration of what is the intention? Why should it be just your own flesh and blood or not, right? If you are sincere that the intention is to give a sibling, and there are so many babies out there that need help, why not consider that, right? And so it really has to be very, very specific to you and your situation. I'll tell you something now, one that I've never told you before. Okay.
Okay.
One of the things that Dr. Rahman had recommended just before I got pregnant, the chemical pregnancy.
Right.
When he said, yeah, go ahead with this advanced Australian blood test, go and start doing IVF, one of these passing advice is, you know what, you could also do egg donation. If your eggs macam, kurang, not prime candidate, why don't you consider, although it may be difficult in Malaysia, to get an egg donor from someone who's younger and their eggs are lagi cemerlang, and then so then of course then you can do it'll be an egg donor, he shows sperm, but then we will still implant it in you, so you will still carry, but it's just like someone else's fresher eggs lah.
Right.
Like maybe like your sister, he said, since your sister dah beranak dua, and Kisha and I looked at each other like,
I would have given you
God.
my eggs,
I know you would have, I think.
Oh
But
man,
we were just
that'd be so weird. That'd be so weird.
It's
man.
not weird. It's the same genetic
weird.
pool.
So weird. So we were both weirded out. Okay, we
Yes,
were
definitely.
Weird. Kisha and I were both.
I'm not.
So
I guess I'm a
weird,
hippie.
right?
Anyway.
So we were so weirded out. But I mean, and I was probably gonna be a bit upset that I'm sharing this because it was so weird for him. He's like, don't even talk about it anymore. Don't even tell your sister. Don't tell the mother about it. And here I'm like telling everyone again. I'm sharing that with you. And I'm sharing that with you, readers. I guess because I want to give you a gist of how hopeless we were made. I mean, I felt at that stage. It's like,
Yeah.
you better don't even try, man. You better go and get someone else's egg, okay? Like, forget about your chance.
Yeah,
Your
well,
chance is
lady,
so bad.
this lady, her name is Lady Rash over my YouTube.
What's her
Dr. Lady Rash.
Oh,
Rach,
Rash,
Rich. Dr. Raymond told her that she had no hope of getting pregnant. Even if I got pregnant, I'll miscarry. So much for crushing my hopes. But she says now that she's hearing your story, she hopes to be positive like Michelle. So yeah, sometimes
sometimes you just get told the. So yeah, when you talk about law of attraction, sometimes it's kind of being quite stubborn, and sometimes even refusing to believe what doesn't go according to what you want. It's very stubborn, and that has again its danger. So for example, with the whole what Azmi, you talked about kicking out the gynae, etc. That did cause strife for my husband and me, because for him he's like, "Who are you? That's the doctor. The doctor is telling you all these things. Right? Like, who are you to decide that you don't need surgery or whatever? Come on, man. Like, this is our baby, very understandably. This is our precious baby. Can't you just listen to the damn professional, right?"
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, but I've been doing my own research and it's my body, and so there's also issues, right, to pushing this through. It's not like positive thinking or
basically you're afraid of keloids and all that, okay. But when it goes through the natural birth, I mean your boubat will also be destroyed.
Well, there are ways to. So this one definitely for those.
the vagina. I'm like, butt. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, bobot, vagina. Oh my God, sorry.
When readers, when listeners out there, when you get your blessing, please check out hypnobirthing. Helps me so much in terms of developing the right mindset for looking forward to birth as a wonderful process, rather than you look at movies, it's all about screaming and pain, etc.
Absolutely.
It completely changed my mind.
But for that to work, you really need to have a supportive partner, because at the end of the day, it's also your surroundings. So I've applied that when I did VBAC or vaginal birth after cesarean with Iman. Unfortunately, the baby was in distress after 33 hours and going in labor. But that's just it. I applied hypnobirth breathing and I couldn't feel the pain. But Azmi said, because he was looking at me and he said, like, but you were in so much pain. But I don't remember that pain. Maybe because I was probably hypnotized. I was like going in and out of my surges. So I absolutely agree with you on that. So Michelle has just mentioned the fact that if you are, whether the doctor's asking you to go through cesarean or not, do read up on hypnobirthing, go for their classes, because it's something that really is all about mind over matter, and it's amazing if you can go through, vaginal
gives
birth through that.
Because even if you end up having interventions like a cesarean due to complications or whatever, I think it sets you up the right way. You're not afraid. You're not afraid. You're actively looking forward to nature's way of welcoming your baby into the world and bringing you closer to your baby. So I wouldn't say that it's completely pain free, but it empowers you. It empowered me, especially with Kian. Like I had no epidural for Kian.
Yeah, man. So Kian was, I remember you were just above 40 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy.
Right? It was just above 40 weeks. And Dr. Paul said there's no urge for you to go in, to induce yet. Let's just wait for another week. And on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Saturday.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. It was Sunday. That's when you said, I think Kishore kept us updated in our WhatsApp group. One moment you're in, and then by mom, who is our mother, she's also a bidan and she's a nurse. She said, by noontime keluar sudah itu. And betul loh. Kishore updates us and by noon. Exactly.
By 10:30 we arrived at Pantai. 10:30 in the morning. I was wheeled up. And then 12 noon came out. And the thing is, no epidural because I was managing my surges. I thought I could do it. I was feeling sensation. I definitely was feeling sensation. I called in the nurse and said, okay, how soon can I get an epidural in?
Right.
And she checked my cervical opening and she said, you're 7 centimeters along.
Wow.
And so for those who haven't gone through this yet, 10 centimeters is when you are like to push. So, from 0, it will go up until 10 centimeters. So from 8 a.m. in the morning until about 10:30, I had gone up to 7 centimeters without any painkillers. So the nurse had basically said to me, if you can manage this without painkillers up to now, ideally try and carry it through, because by the time we call in the epidural specialist, it'll be another hour or so, and you might have given birth by then, and it'll all be wasted.
Yeah.
So, but up to you, of course, right? So in my mind, I was thinking, do I do it? Do I wait for it to get worse, or do I just like tahan? And in the end, I thought, okay, let's just see what I can do. And through just hypnobirthing techniques, able to, thank God, safely deliver Kian very, very quickly. An hour and a half, literally, of from getting into the hospital to him being born. So amazing stuff. But definitely, yes, hypnobirthing it just educates you and lets you know what is happening to your body, so that you don't feel under attack. I think what makes a lot of women fearful about labor is like you have no idea what is happening, and then when all the sensations come, you're just helpless, right? You like, when's the next one, and what's going to happen, how bad is it going to be, and how much more of this. But hypnobirthing educates you of each step, what's happening, so you kind of understand, okay, this is the stage when this is happening, this is happening, this is what my body is trying to do, and this is the breathing technique, so you can help your body do what it needs to do. So you feel empowered in a way to really, take charge of your own birth. And that's what I would recommend it. Even if at the end of the day, you end up having surgery, it's still very helpful, I think.
And one thing about you, my sister is someone who plans down to the T. And part of her birth plans was to fly my mother in so that she could be looking after my sister and her food and etc. But that didn't take place because obviously the MCO or the CMCO didn't allow mom to travel back. How was it coping for that 1 month? I mean, you just celebrated Kian's 1 month birthday. How has it been so far? How are you coping? Because I've got my older girls to help me. You know what I mean? So it helps in that way. Of course, we both have fantastic husbands who are very hands-on, but still, it's hard, looking after a newborn, going through that breastfeeding. And yes, how was your breastfeeding journey this time around?
So first off, I think you hit the nail on the head. The fact that we have very, very supportive. I really want to give a shout out to my husband. You have your super husband. I have my amazing husband, Kishore. We knew that mom wouldn't be around this time round, and even going to a confinement center or having a confinement lady sort of live in with us, we weren't very comfortable with that. So many different considerations. So we kind of knew we had to do it ourselves. I had researched ahead of time confinement food delivery services, and I want to give a shout out to Faye. It was one of your friends, Pon, who recommended this lovely lady, Faye. And on Facebook, you can find her at Faye Lippert, Lippert. First name Faye, Fay. And I can give the number. She's given me permission to share her WhatsApp number. She did amazing Chinese style confinement food for me, and it was delivered every day. Delicious, really tasty, very nutritious stuff. And I also signed up with Tanah Merah for their postnatal ritual. So yeah, nobody paid me to say this. I just did, but I had a very good experience with both. So anyone who is thinking of having to do DIY confinement, these might help you.
Yeah, I actually took on the same people to come in to help me, because we're like about 3 weeks apart. Yeah. So I extended my confinement food because it's so sedap. And Tanah Merah also I confine, because since I can't go anywhere anyway, so I said, you know what, let's just do this, because it's going to be definitely my last one. I've tied the tubes. I've gone through. I'm done.
Never say never.
No, I'm done. I'm super
oh my God,
done.
Azmi, are you serious?
No, I'm gonna tell you that.
I'm done.
I'm serious. 3 babies ago. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. God finds his way.
I can't go through this again, man. Look at this.
Okay, this is exactly Azmi.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we mean by law of attraction.
Yes.
If you keep saying, you know, you never know, mungkin ada lagi.
I never said I never know. I said I don't want. I'm done. But it keeps coming back, especially when you guys get pregnant.
Because you keep talking about it and keep talking. See, if you don't
I think
read
so.
it, like,
I thought it was me. It's him.
When she said ikat, you stop talking. Okay? When she said ikat, cukup. Tapi the fact that you keep saying, maybe ada
The
lagi.
kakak in her has spoken. The kakak has spoken. How about you? Are you done?
That's right. Just don't get any pregnant anymore.
Yeah, I think you
Michelle,
can't,
stop
because we get pregnant at the same time.
Yes, it's all your fault.
It has nothing to do with me, okay? You all, whatever you guys do is nothing to do with me. We, with penuh niat, penuh intention, yes. Yeah, we are very blessed to have one girl, one boy, and we will be doing what is necessary to ensure that the focus is.
Oh, you didn't tie your tubes straight away?
No.
Oh no, because you did vaginal birth. Okay.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, we have to look into that. Yeah.
So now with the RMCO, God, so many fancy names. With the recovery MCO, are you going back to work, or are you still working from home, or is your maternity leave extended? What's happening with you, and how's it going to be with Lara? Because Lara's daycares should be open, no? Daycares are open already.
Yeah, so we have. My maternity is still into early July.
Oh, okay.
Maternity leave is still into early July. So that's really good. I'm staying very focused on just stabilizing with Kian. So you're talking about breastfeeding. I really struggled with breastfeeding the last round, and again, you know, law of attraction. I said the second time round, I've got to educate myself better about the science behind breastfeeding. What is it I have to do to prepare myself? And you know, been very blessed that this time round it seems to be going well.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, I'm sorry. I know we shouldn't say stuff like that, but because I think one of your concerns was that he was not putting on weight accordingly.
Yeah.
But he's doing fine. He looks fine. He looks great.
Fine. He's doing well. So the pediatrician says he's developing well, and you know. So yeah, this time round it's much better. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I think the next couple of weeks while I still have leave is really staying focused on him. Now that he's a little bit more stable, I want to be a bit more inclusive with Lara, because I promised myself I want to be an inclusive second-time parent. I told Lara that, you know, the new baby is going to take a lot of time, which she welcomed. She was the project manager for this second pregnancy. She's the one who kind of like, bila lah, when am I going to get a baby brother, baby sister, right? But I did tell her the baby is going to take up a lot of time, but you are equally loved. You are so important, so precious to us. So if you ever feel that you are feeling a little bit left out, please let Mama know. And
Has she
Mama
felt
will
left
give you-
out yet?
She has, so she's voiced it out, and so in those instances, then I have to like kind of sayang her a little bit extra. But I feel like I'm not doing as good a job as I should be. I mean, but mothers always will find ways to put themselves down. But as I stabilize Kian, I do want to utilize the remainder of my maternity leave to ensure that Lara also is feeling the love. Yeah.
I just realized that we've been talking for over an hour now, admittedly because you came in a little bit later. But I just want to ask you a few questions just before we leave. One is, what do you say to those still trying? How do you remain positive? And two, what was the other question? Yeah, maybe you'll answer that one first and I'll look for the other one. There was two questions that were, how do you remain positive going through, dejection?
Yeah, I think you look for the third principle. The third principle of law of attraction. I mentioned the first two principles. First is understanding what you want, getting clarity on what you want. Second step is to keep it top of mind, right? So through visualization, through allowing things in your space that only support that focus. The third is eliminating doubt. And so you look for evidence that it's possible.
Right.
And that's why I was so keen to share my story, because if this is one of those stories that helps you believe it could be possible for you, that would be great. Like I relied on a lot of those stories as I went through my journey. I've been in your shoes, those who are listening and despair. I've been in your shoes where I failure as a woman, as a wife. I didn't know whether, I would ever become a mom. You look for stories of other women. You read stories about, the daughter, when she was finally born, said, I know why now, God waited for you to give me to you, because I'm messing up the story, but something along the lines of, you were supposed to be my mother. This daughter said, you were supposed to be my mother. That's why it took so long for you to have me, because you needed to wait for me. I needed to wait for you. So I don't know. It's whatever it takes to kind of, and I look at Lara, I look at Kian, the little Kian.
Is he still on you? My God.
Yeah. Well, he was breastfeeding, but now he's just like, sitting down on me. So yeah, he's just my little angel, and Lara is my precious. And just do what you can. I was telling Kishore like the other, I'm not a runner. Again, I keep using these marathon analogies, but I'm not a runner. I've never run more than 5 kilometers. When you're in the park and you're like, oh my God, pushing yourself to
5
keep going.
kilometers in the shopping mall.
Yeah, probably a little bit more like a shopping mall. Like, but when you're going on the track, and I don't know if you do this, but I certainly do this because I'm not a runner. I want to give up. I put that. I'm tired. I want to give up. But then I'm like, you identify a bush or like a tree that is 5 meters ahead of you, and you're like, never mind, just keep going until that one. And then if you feel like stopping, then you can stop then. And then when you reach that point, then you say, okay, you identify another tree 5 meters down, and you say, okay, just keep going until that one. So you keep pushing yourself in this way, and then you'll run the whole course, right?
So like little goals along the way, like
little milestones,
right. Yeah.
Right? And in my fertility journey, it's like these stories that I would find where women managed somehow. Those were my little trees, right? And then it kept me going. And again, the little things like you have to keep your eye on the prize. So things like when I said we needed to go back to basics as a couple, right? Because the ultimate goal was to have a strong family, right? So if we with the stress of baby making, we are not kuku as a couple, that doesn't get to the end goal. So focus on that fundamental first, which serves the bigger goal. So then, make sure that your relationship as husband and wife is sorted. You do your responsibilities as a loving partner. that is also part of the end goal of having a family. But these kind of things, staying focused, looking for the positive stories, but also doing what you need to do to serve the bigger goal.
Nice, nicely summarized. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you so much. I've got a lot of other questions, but what I'll do is, most of them want to know your supplements. I'll go and get the list from you once you WhatsApp it to me. Thank you for the videos. I've actually just realized the other videos that you have over your YouTube. Laura's birthday from the age of 2, 3, 4. Where's the one? You didn't do a video on one.
Because that time, the one was just photos. So video tak tera lagi kan. So just that's why Lara's like, where's my video for this? I'm like, Lara, wait. Okay, that one didn't. Because every other video I got video already. So.
Well, I'm really looking forward to actually hugging you, meeting you properly, and letting our sons meet each other. So till then,
Kian punya photo shoot. I want to see that. Is it up already?
Dah, tapi belum
Process.
I see.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Where's Kian? I want to see him.
can we just see Kian before we go? Because mine's like breastfeeding. Hi! Allah, hi. Oh, I'm so glad that you gave me the mittens and
Atas
the...
sikit tidak nampak tu. Kau ni.
I only see the kepala.
Ha.
He's like,
Hello, Kian.
Hi, Kian. Ayo, like so precious lah.
can you see?
Oh my god, it's the Lara version. Okay, fine. Okay, we won't disturb you.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks so much, Ka. And again, if you have any questions, I will, I'll send them over to Michelle and I'll try and get them answered, okay? Thanks,
You
Ka.
know what? If you want, like, do cut and paste that. Feel free to cut and paste the Kian
Can
story.
I? Okay.
Your chance, go ahead. And then because Mom said, you already written Kian's birth story. Where's Lara's? So I'm like 70% done with Lara's, and when it's ready, I will allow you to share that as well.
Okay, great. So, now that my sister has spoken, she said that I can share that story. I will do that too. Cut and paste and post it all on my platforms. Well, thank you again, Ka. So good to see you, even though it's via Zoom. Bye. Love you. Take care.
Everyone, take care.
Oh, bye. And terima kasih to everyone who has written in. I saw some people sharing their stories also. I'm so sorry that we weren't able to bring it out during the live, but I will address it one by one. And very quickly, for the winner of the sucky machine, I wanted to bring it out, but I'm breastfeeding him. But remember, I had this little chat with Unicorn Cleaners KL, and that was done prior to me delivering. Yeah, I can't find it. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to go and look for it, and it's all right. But I will post this again over my platforms. The winner is drum roll.
Hold on.
Yeah, the drum roll for the winner of our Unicorn Cleaners KL voucher worth 300 ringgit is alahai sedihnya. There you go. Farah Molson Espinosa. Si Farah, kau lah yang pemenang dia. But I don't think you're in today. Usually she's always watching our show, but she's not in today. But I will message you and get your details so that Steph from Unicorn Cleaners KL can get in touch with you, and you can use this extraction machine to keep your house nice, beautiful, clean, and dust-free. Awesome. All right, I know I'm gonna be. I have to announce the Stone Line frying pans, but I'll probably do that on our next live. And until then, take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sorry it's a little bit longer than usual, but I thought that let's just get this topic out of the way since everyone's been DMing me. I'll try and summarize it and get the captions ready for everyone to read, alright? Where all the feedback, all the information with regards to the supplements as well as the Fertility Monitor and apps that she's been using. Again, a disclaimer that it may work for her, it may not work for everyone else, but hey, who knows, right? Sharing is caring. You never know. Signing out, Daphne Iking. Selamat Hari...
Selamat Raya.
No, Selamat Raya. It's the Agung's birthday, right?
Oh!
Do you know,
Daulat Tuanku.
Daulat Tuanku, he's actually one of my favorite kings and queens, actually. Very quickly, do you know that my sister's nickname is Bagong? Because my father named her Bagong because she was born after Agung's birthday.
Wow!
But by right now, because they put it on the 8th,
She's on the 2nd of June. But
Bagung
anyway,
can mean a lot.
that is her surname, Bagung, because she was born Agung's birthday. That was just a trivia. Alright, thank you guys so much once again. Daphne Iking signing out with Elon and Joe Labosi in the house. Take care. God bless.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
I'll have what she's having. I'll have what she's having.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.